Dear Bethesda, I love you, but we need to talk. I'd say it's not a big deal, but, well, it kind of is. You see, I was playing Skyrim. I mean, you remember Skyrim, right? It's the one you made about winter and chest hair. Anyway, I was in Riften, admiring this beautiful, thriving world you've created. You know, that's something I've always admired about your titles, Bethesda. You're amazing at world building. I mean, you made Morrowind feel alive, which is just incredible, because when you really think about it, the world is basically just the fever dream of a person high on mushrooms. Fast travel was done by silt striders, which honestly are just giant bugs with a place to sit carved into their exoskeletons. Did you know that they're controlled by the driver directly manipulating their organs? That's disgusting! Anyway, point is, you guys rock at making the unbelievable seem believable. Well, mostly. See, here's our little sticking point, Bethesda, because I mentioned I was in Riften, a good old Riften, the city of corruption with a river running through it. It's the home of the Thieves Guild, which are essentially a bunch of crusty homeless people squatting in a sewer. But then again, so were the Ninja Turtles, so we can let that slide. Oh shit, where was I? Oh right, I was talking about Riften. I mentioned it has a sewer. Do you know what sewers are for? They're for poop, pee, and sometimes why, which is fine. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, but it got me thinking, where the hell do people in Tamriel relieve themselves? I mean, I figured Khajiit just try to find sand somewhere, and Argonians just, like, someone just cleans their terrarium, right? But let's talk about sewers a bit more for a second. Modern sewers exist to carry wastewater from showers, toilets, and sinks from homes, which is brought there via the miracle that is indoor plumbing. And it's brought to treatment facilities, where more magic turns poo water into drinking water, because God bless sanitation and God bless America. Sewers have existed for a lot longer, of course. In fact, archaeologists have found some form of drainage canals in what is now known as Iraq that date all the way back to 3000 BCE. Although one of the peaks in human sanitation in early history was the Roman Empire. In fact, Rome had a water system that honestly is close to something we would recognize. They transported water from many miles away. They had a gray and black water system where water from public baths would be used to flush human waste. And they had toilets. Pipes were made of lead, because of course they were, and at the peak of their human waste advancement, plumbing in individual homes was starting to crop up at around 100 BCE. Of course, the Roman Empire did collapse like my self-esteem during puberty, and in the West, silly concepts like flushing your poo away and making sure you weren't drinking water mixed with pee went straight out the window. But this is our stop. Gotta get back to the point. The first sewers basically weren't anything we'd recognize as sewers. They were just poop rivers that were designed to take the crap people threw out their windows out of town. But as far as I've noticed, these don't exist anywhere in Skyrim, Cyrodiil, or Morrowind. Sewers exist, sure, but they mostly seem to be a place for weird people to hang out. And in fact, there's a complete lack of toilets. They're nowhere. No latrines, no outhouses, no chamber pots, unless... Wait, is that what the buckets we've been putting on shopkeepers' heads are for? Ugh. God, gross. No, I don't really think so. I mean, someone would have said something. I know you guys know toilets exist. I've seen them in Fallout. In fact, I've taken drinks out of them before. So you are aware that people go to the bathroom. So I have to ask, what's the deal? I mean, the Empire in Tamriel is based off the Roman Empire, and they had latrines and baths. And the Empire has been around for thousands of years in Tamriel. Plenty of time to develop a centralized concept of human sanitation. Is it magic? Is it just some sort of ubiquitous magic bucket technology that no one told us about? You like poop into a bucket and it's all whisked away by some tiny hole to oblivion? Is that why Mehrunes Dagon was so determined to invade Tamriel, to get away from the smell? Or is it something else? Is there some sort of secret cabal of alchemists and restoration magic users who have been keeping health advances suppressed so they can continue to sell their magical cures for cholera and dysentery? And I'm not the only one to ask this question. And some people have even made mods to address it. You've gone 6. I keep forgetting about that one. You've gone 6 games without talking about this, and we're starting to take notice. It's starting to get weird that you don't talk about it. I need to know. I mean, you write books like ABCs for Barbarians. It's time for everybody in Daggerfall poops. The world needs to know. We're ready. Sincerely, Austin. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching that video. I know it was a bit of a weird one, but sometimes you just have to do something different to shake it up, and why not do a video about poop? We haven't done enough videos about poop. I think we should make this a poop-only oh, no, we shouldn't make it a poop-only show. Okay, well, maybe not. Anyway, if you like to hear me overthink things maybe a little bit better than this, you could watch my Rethinking series where I talk about all sorts of things. We have a new one coming out next week. And if you're interested in getting to know more Skyrim lore that is well-researched and well-presented, you need to check out our Skyrim Storyteller series. It is truly fantastic. And if you like this video or our other videos, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. We love new people. Anyway, I will see you next week.